again to another episode of Women in Business. This is Doreen Kemcha, Smart 24 TV, and we're delighted to have you. Now, as always, we are very keen, inspiring stories of the women in business, linkages to resources, as well as mentorship. Those are the three focal places, focal points on which this particular program lies. So on this particular episode, we're going to talk about networking. What is networking? You know, people throw it around, but do they actually know what networking is all about? Do they actually harness their 110, 130% that networking offers? What is it all about? And to give us insight, we have an amazing lady. She will speak for herself, but she is so gutsy. She is all out there. She's also a very humble lady. We're delighted to have Diana Nimsima Chibuka. She's the National Director for BNI Uganda. Delighted to have you, Diana.
Thank you very much, Doreen. It's a pleasure to be here.
You'll notice I fumbled a little bit with your name. it's longer, yes? You are married?
Yes, I'm married to Mr. Chibuka, Mr. Ronald Chibuka.
Delighted to have you.
Thank you so much.
How did this BNI begin? Well, what is it actually? Is it just an exclusive club? I've heard quite a lot about it. People have been asking me questions, yes? People have been asking me questions, and good enough, I'll have her here. She's going to give us everything about them and what networking is in Uganda. How did it start?
Thank you very much again. So BNI, first of all, stands for Business Network International. And it's a global organization. So I hear a lot of people very concerned, you know, about this thing. It's in over 77 countries across the world on all the continents. But it started in America in 1985. So it's about 39 years old.
Way back.
Way back. So how did I find out about Business Network International? How did I bring it to Uganda? Now that's a very interesting story, Doreen. I'm a lawyer by profession, and I was working in a law firm, and then I had a client. And the client had come from Kenya, and he was looking for people to help him with legal solutions. And in the course of getting to know him, every time he had a problem, I told him, let me call somebody in my network and I solve your problem.
Oh.
And so that gentleman told me there's this organization called Business Network International.
Yes.
And I remember, Doreen, when I first heard the word network, I actually shrank back. I said, no, thank you. I have enough networks. In fact, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
But he told me, no, this organization brings business owners together. So maybe that's one important thing people watching need to know. It's a network for business owners. Secondly, it focuses on helping business owners grow their business. So if you're looking to grow your business, no matter how small you are, if you're a startup which started yesterday, if you are a big organization which has been around for 20 years, BNI is a place where you can grow your business. And it has very, very clear values. For example, we don't charge commission in BNI. If I help you, I give you a business referral, I give you business, there's no expectation that you pay me commission. And those are the things which attracted me to BNI. The length, it's been around for over 30 years at the time I got to know it.
So it's reputable.
It's very reputable, very credible. It's on different continents. So what the solution they provide works across countries, across cultures. And three, they have very clear values, really about helping each other and growing. And maybe I'll just loop networking into that by saying that a network is as basic as who are you connected to today, right? So Doreen, today you're in my network because we're having this conversation. Now everybody you know
literally will be almost like it's like all these different
tapping into your network.
Tentacles.
I'm tapping into your network. I tell people that in your family, that's a network. Stop looking for networks outside. Your first network is your family because they know you. So are you trustworthy in your family? Are you credible in your family? Can someone in your family lend you money?
First wait. Let me ask Dada. When he said there is this person here, your friend, your Kenyan friend, when he said your Kenyan client, when he said that there's this network, why did you cringe?
Because at that point in time, one, I was 33 years old. I was as a lawyer. I didn't feel I needed a network of business owners. I had never run a business of my own. And I thought for a moment it could be a pyramid scheme. You know that one where they say, bring one, bring two, bring three. And so immediately at that point I said, thank you, but not for me. But he was so intentional because he kept saying, he said, you seem to know everybody. You seem to have a solution for every problem. You seem to be very well connected. Let me introduce you to these business owners. At least
Start
come,
from there.
see for yourself,
Yeah.
and then make a decision. So I had to fly to Nairobi, Kenya to experience BNI.
Yeah.
And when I got there, honestly, I was blown away
You loved it.
because of the values that the members were exhibiting. You know, helping people do business without charging commission.
That
And
doesn't happen often.
That doesn't happen often. And as a lawyer, I had seen it so many times with people saying, "Funira muwa,
Exactly, and this is what I wanted to say. This is what I wanted to say.
Yes.
Funirawa.
Yes.
I don't know, the idea about Funirawa that is within this particular niche
Yes.
of business,
Yes.
really. And I think it comes from the fact that maybe I invested so much, yes? I've spent quite a lot of time cultivating to where I am right now. How dare you? How dare you just come and then you expect me to give you everything, my contacts,
Yes.
my wisdom,
Yes.
after me suffering.
Yes.
Yes? So in one way or another, they tend to think of it as that moment whereby, yeah, pay me a little bit
Yes.
for what I have gone through to get here,
Yes.
to be able to give you this particular service.
Yes.
Is that bad?
Yes and no. Yes, it's bad. Let me tell you, as a lawyer, I used to sit in deals when deals were being made.
Yeah.
And you have a whole line of people waiting for commission because of something small they did. Now, it affects the price at which the seller can sell and the price at which the buyer can buy. So the value of the deal that you're working on is inflated because of
Just those, that line,
that whole line of brokers. Now, this is the difference, and the mind has to change. Because, Doreen, even you, to reach where you are, there are so many people
that held me.
who have helped you,
Yeah.
and they did not charge you. So if you meet someone else, pay it forward.
Yes.
Support them, and then let's move forward, all right? The problem is most people want to live off mfuniramu katikati. Where do I benefit on this deal? Build something, do something constructive, and let people support you, and then support other people. And that's the whole mentality of BNI. We say give as gain. That if I help you, Doreen, achieve what you want to achieve,
something.
ultimately I will gain, because it will come back to me in one way or another. So it's I know it's challenging, but this is a golden principle in life. Even
Yes,
philosophy, religion has shown us that.
That's the truth.
So the mind has to switch.
That's the truth. That's
Yes.
the reality about it. Because as much as you give, you
Yes.
also receive, right?
Yes.
That's the reality about it. Now, when I love this, women in business, yes? Because we look at the holistic picture.
Yeah.
And sometimes we also get down to the nitty-gritties of the behavior.
Yeah.
Yes, why do people behave like this? It's not, don't assume
Yes.
that I will behave a certain way.
Yes.
Don't assume that the lady out there who is really watching right now
Yes.
and investing and
Yes.
crying over this business may want to be very keen
Yes.
on the giving part
Yeah.
within networking.
Yeah.
But she'll be very keen on the receiving
Receiving
part.
part,
And
yes.
that is why you will notice a couple of women that I have spoken to will be
Yes.
very keen to get into networking,
Yes.
not particularly for the connectedness, the friendship.
Mhm.
Yes?
Mhm.
It will not be particularly for that. It will be particularly, what can you do for me? Yes? What can you do for me? What did you go through that I can pick a leaf from?
Yeah.
And make sure that, and a lot of that is actually happening. So I feel we need to demystify
Yes.
the essence of networking.
Yes.
Yes? The essence of networking, of help as many,
Yes.
and as you help as many, the gain actually comes back,
Yes.
back to you.
Yes.
Do you have you had
term
challenge?
term I actually use is add value. Wherever you are, add value. Be that person who adds something where they are. You know, even if you're in a small network, when people say we need someone to do this, put
Yeah.
your hand up.
Yes.
Don't just be there to receive, because then that demystifies the whole essence of what can I take, what can I take. And as I was telling people, that if you can understand that a network is just the people you're connected to, right? And from the nucleus of a family, that's a network.
Yeah.
Your immediate family, your extended family, that's a network. When you went to school, that was a network.
So
when you went to university, that is a network.
is
Where
it-
you're working today, that
Yes.
is your network. Now, what value are you adding there? Some people want to go and network out there in places, make sense?
yeah, and yet they
Forgetting
have,
that you start here. Who are you? What value do you add? What can somebody from your family lend you money? Or are you the kind of person who they're like,
That
Diana?
But haven't you heard of those instances where people will actually tell you that I have not been supported
Yeah.
by my friends, my inner friends
Yes.
and family? Haven't you heard?
I've heard of them.
There are people that actually tell you, one, because they just don't believe
Yes.
in it.
Yes.
And then there are others who will tell you, I got tired of calling,
Yes.
and people were not picking up my calls.
Yes.
My own family members were not picking
Yes,
up my
yes.
calls because
Now.
every time I would call, they would
Yes.
expect that I'm going to sell them something,
True.
I'm going to
True.
give them OD, I'm going to do what, and then start banjering them.
Yeah.
So how is that failing as a
There-
network strategy?
There are two things. First of all, my sister used to sell bank accounts. She went from this bank to we opened bank accounts. So then one day we all just said, Atugai.
No, yes.
But the whole point people need to understand is that you build your networks gradually, right? So as you go out to network, don't expect that where you go there, people will be even more
Keen,
receptive than
yeah.
your family. Now, a lot of bridges are burnt when we are doing business as women.
Yeah.
We have this expectation people will support me.
Yeah.
My friend, there's no expectation. Have you ever taken to them your whole
Package.
value chain and said, this is why I'm doing this, this is what, we just come and say,
Oh.
buy, send, do.
You are my family, you're supposed
You're my
to
family.
support me.
Just, no.
Yes.
You must come and present yourself. If you're looking for a business partner, for money in this, from this person, present yourself professionally. But also understand and respect that this person has a right to say no. Like you do when it comes to any
Yeah,
space.
yeah.
Because when you take that attitude into a networking space, that my family didn't support me, now here people will support me, why should they support you? What do you bring to the table?
Yeah.
How can that value be enhanced by the group that you're in?
Yes.
And I tell people, start from when you're small. When you're in a group of friends, what do your friends say about you? When you're in a workplace, what do your workmates say about you? Because when you come into a networking space,
You
you're
have to
bringing
be
those
very
negative
clear.
traits
Yeah.
or positive traits. So learn to
Oh.
accept feedback,
Yeah.
especially if you're looking to join a network.
Don't think of it as vendettas and,
Yes.
and this person.
And now the challenge is when people pay to join networks like Rotary, like BNI, they come with this expectation, it is done, it is sealed.
Yes.
Yet the reality is that
You're coming to serve.
you're coming to serve, you're coming to add value. You must bring yourself and be able to develop yourself so
Yeah.
that people find you attractive and are able to do business with
With
you,
you.
or are able to build bigger things with you.
Yeah.
Okay? So I think for me, one thing I've learned in my journey of networking, people need to first start with themselves.
This
For
is
me,
how,
if
this
I'm
is how
a
many years,
person
by the
to be
way?
chosen, 8 years in BNI.
8 years.
8 years in BNI, 316 members, over 110
The
billion
Uganda
shillings.
chapter.
The Ugandan chapters, yes.
Have you had moments where you were uncomfortable? Why do I say this? Because I actually had a conversation, and this lady said she had joined this particular network, and she was calling upon other women in business really
Yes.
to be very particular and join these networks,
Yes.
because they take you out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
You are forced to grow.
Yes.
Just share a little bit, like in those 8 years,
Of course, for me,
what comfort zones have you
I
had to
moved
get
from,
out? Yes.
Totally. Now, of course, imagine for me, I was coming from employment, I didn't have a business, and I was telling people about this new thing called BNI. And people used to say, what's wrong with her? Avuddemu byalo.
Yeah.
How can byamateeka kakati atunda ki? BMI, BMMI, chichi. Ng'abantu tebabitegeera. Nobody could understand what I was doing. So there was, first of all, that challenge of people saying, you had a good job, you are a lawyer, what are you doing? What
That's
are you
safe.
selling?
That was safe.
So stepping out of employment, 1. 2, beginning to engage people. You know, when you invite people into something, you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
But facing rejection, for me, that was one of my biggest challenges that I had to overcome. Getting used to know. And appreciating that Doreen has a right.
To say
Because,
no.
yes, she doesn't understand what I'm saying. Even if Doreen is my best friend, I have a sister who was in business. It took her 5 years to join BNI. I
5
had to
years.
appreciate.
And so you spent
Yes.
literally 3 years.
She's in my family. I walk with her every day. I talk with her every day. Our children are similar age. But it took her 5 years to join. So understanding that I must respect somebody's no, and I must give people a chance to understand my business. took me out of my comfort zone where I used to be like,
And
I only
you're
want
so
to be with people
entitled.
who say yes. I only, if you're my friend, if you agree with me. So
Yeah.
that one. And then of course I had to learn how to talk, because every day you wake up and you're telling somebody about this opportunity.
Yeah.
Please, now as a lawyer, people come to you. They are like,
Yes. Now you have to go out.
you're
It's
like,
actually a
now,
reversal.
you know, now they are telling, now you're talking to people and they're really looking at you like, oh no,
Yeah.
Mubi,
Yes.
chi. Then I had to keep learning, Doreen. I had to keep learning, because you have told this organization was over 30 years by that time. It was 30 plus years by the time I landed on it. So I had to learn, challenge myself. You know, when you go to places and you're the only African, you're the only woman, and people are, you show up,
Yeah.
you must be competent, you must be capable. So for me, that complacency also of just showing up and sitting in the room were a game changer. I had to begin to say, what am I going to say today? What conversations am I going to have? How am I going to present myself? What audience is before me? So that learning curve was very steep.
As you were selling this from African,
Yes.
right? What was your major, major uphill task
Okay.
to get over?
Okay.
Was it the mindsets about
Yes.
networking?
The first thing someone told me is that those things are for Kenyans. Serious business is done in Kenya. Uganda, there's no serious business.
Yes.
Secondly, they were like, nobody in Uganda is going to support each other without money. You're saying no commission, how?
How?
But today, we've made over 110 billion in business by members. No commissions. No
Ever
commissions.
since you started?
Yes, members giving each other
Yes.
business.
Yes.
The other thing they told me, no one will wake up in the morning. You know, our BNI meetings are 6:30 a.m. in the morning. Nobody will come to this meeting in the morning.
Yes.
In fact, I remember the hotel people, they said, are you sure, madam? Are you sure?
Yeah.
And some mornings I would wake up and there would be no one. But I had this resolve in me that if I can bring business owners together, and together we can support each other. Because that word support, it's, you can just say it like that. But have you ever been carrying a heavy load and someone carries coal for you?
Yeah, the
And you
relief.
say,
The relief.
and that's what I see every day now. I see that from that small group that I started with the 316 business owners,
that have now...
you hear people saying, thank you for starting this thing. I don't know where I would be. Now I have a community of people I can work with. Now I have people who are supporting me. I have people who are teaching me. I have people who I can look to get business, give business, and learn together.
So it really, it's all and all.
Yes.
Any business owner.
Any business owner.
Any business owner can get in.
Yes, I love the story of Exceed Catering. Exceed Catering is a big brand now. They served food at the royal wedding for Busoga.
Oh, that's big.
Yes, but Exceed Catering started as a very small business in BNI. And I remember the lady called Olivia and her husband Brian. They came in, they had this big dream of doing fine catering, but there was nobody out there who was willing to bet on them and give them business. And so members in BNI started giving them business slowly. And today, they are a big brand. They are a top-notch brand.
So you want to say that it was all because of BNI?
Yes. BNI is in their story. I have another story of a lady called Jennifer. She's currently running Nutrition Garage. Jennifer started a business of selling butunda in the boot of her car.
As she was working, or?
She had now quit work. She would order butunda from Kisoro, then sell them to her friends in offices.
We've seen many do that.
And now,
she came
to BNI. Then people told her, Jennifer, wait it easy. Then she found a market stall. She started selling from there. Then she got contracts to supply schools, hospitals, universities.
And now?
She bought trucks. Then she said, but I can do juicing business. She started a juicing business. Then she said,
for fresh juice.
For fresh juice, which now serves at wedding. Then she went and said, people look for nutrition. She started Nutrition Garage right there on your way to Nalia. But do you see the mindset shift from somebody who was selling
from the boat
with the support of other business owners? Today she has 3 businesses. The one which does market shopping for institutions, the one which does juice, weddings, events, parties, and for homes, and the one which does Nutrition Garage. Where she
those are
people.
3 in one.
Those are 3. From somebody who just had the courage to come and be part of a group of positive business owners. Yes. So it's as small as that, but it's also big as...
What? And I want, Diana, let's these are amazing stories. I want to know. What is stopping the average woman? When I say average, yes, it's not in any way, you know, derogatory or anything like
Yes,
that.
yes.
I just want the woman that I get to meet right
Yes,
now on
yes,
Kampala Road,
Yes.
the hustler, quote
Yes.
unquote,
Yes.
just like she started in her book. What is stopping her
Yes.
from getting into this networking, you know?
Yes.
Are they organizations?
Yes, yes.
Yes. What is stopping her?
I think the first one is knowledge. Some people don't know we are there. Business Network International has been in Uganda for 8 years, but many people, when they come into the room, they're like, but where have you guys been?
Yes.
Are you sure? So now, last year we held a conference where we invited people from East Africa. It was very visible. And people said, but how do we reach you?
With different chapters?
With different chapters.
In Uganda here?
In Uganda, East Africa, global. We had 13 countries from across the world. Now, this year, we are saying no. We are opening it up to the public. So we are
Yes.
running an expo in May. And we are saying, the public members, come.
Yeah,
We are going to be
get to
inviting
know.
all of them. Come and find out about BNI. May 31st, 1st June.
Yeah.
Let us tell you, this is where we are. This is what we do. These are the people. So that you don't say, Obaba Ani.
Yes.
Now, the second thing is lack of courage.
Lack of courage.
Yes, fear. A lot of women fear failure. So they don't take that first step.
Yeah.
The first step is attending a meeting. You must get out of your comfort zone and
I want you
attend
to
a meeting.
look at the camera and speak, because she's there. She is waiting for you. Yes.
Yeah, I think that the first thing is visit a meeting. Visit
Yeah.
a Business Network International meeting. We meet on Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Friday morning, 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. We meet at Fairway Hotel, we meet at Golf Course Hotel, we meet at Protea Hotel. Now, these hotels where we meet, it's not to eliminate anybody, but it's so that we find an environment where we can do business together.
Yeah.
We have people who speak all languages. We have people who are tailors.
Yes.
We have people who are fashion designers. We have artists. But we also have big brands like Victoria Schools, like Seroma Schools,
Yes.
you know. But together, everybody comes together and helps each other
Yeah.
to progress.
Yes.
So many times when women don't want to come and step into an environment where, quote unquote, they don't know anybody. But if you go to bni.com and look for Uganda, you will find a space where you can come and meet other business owners and listen to them, particularly tell their story.
Yes.
So it's not just me talking.
It isn't.
Yes, but the other last thing I'll talk about is discipline. Doreen, anyone who wants to achieve something great must be willing to invest time and money.
Yeah.
And the discipline of investing those two is one of the
Is
hardest
one of-
challenges
is one
that
of the
women face.
challenges.
Because we are full of excuses. We say, my children, my husband, the sky, the moon, everything. But I always emphasize to women that if you're okay,
Yeah.
if you look after yourself and you're okay, if you prosper, if you thrive, then everything will be okay.
Everything will be okay.
Everything will be okay. But if you're not okay, nothing will
A
be
positive mindset, basically.
Yes.
Does a positive mindset really immediately translate into into a
Yes,
hefty pocket?
yes, yes,
Does it immediately
yes,
translate?
Yes. Imagine, Doreen, if I'm selling to you butunda, and I come banange nyabo obutunda bubuno. Or if I come said, Madam Doreen,
Yeah.
pleasure, you know, this is your butunda. When
Yes.
can I bring the next one?
Mindset radiates to attitude.
Yes, definitely.
Mindset radiates to attitude. Diana, let's take a short break. Let's take a short break and we'll be right back after this message and get to know all about what it takes to actually build a network, get more sales, get more connections, and be a better business owner.